The story begins, and in front of us appears the year 2004, and the place is Baghdad. Here we see American soldiers who have received information that a bomb has been planted here. That is why a large unit of American soldiers has arrived here, and this team is being led by Matthew, and Matthew is the one who is going to defuse this bomb. Along with Matthew, there are two more soldiers present here, whose names are Sanborn and Eldridge. Now the people here start searching for the bomb, and after a long and hard struggle, they finally find the bomb as well. But they use a robot to locate the bomb because they do not know how dangerous which bomb can be. So as soon as they find the bomb, they start carefully observing it on the monitor and begin their investigation. And Matthew starts thinking whether he can defuse this bomb or not. After thinking for a long time, they decide that they will detonate the bomb beforehand, because if they blast it at the bomb's location first, then the damage will not be that much. So now Matthew starts moving forward to blast the bomb, and he tells everyone to move away from here, and they begin clearing the entire area. Now Matthew goes near the bomb and plants dynamite on it, and now they get ready to carry out the blast here. Matthew starts moving away from there, and suddenly they see a man who has a mobile phone in his hand. Seeing the mobile phone, they immediately understand that this man is going to detonate the bomb. That is why now they tell Matthew to run, because a very big explosion is about to happen here. And now, in the blink of an eye, that bomb explodes, and the explosion is so powerful that Matthew gets caught in the blast, and right here Matthew dies. Because of this, everyone becomes very sad, and the most heartbroken among them is Sanborn, because Matthew was his best friend. Sanborn had never even imagined that Matthew would die like this. So now everyone is mourning like this, but someone has to take Matthew's place. That is why now a bomb expert is sent to replace Matthew, whose name is William James, and everyone calls him Will. Will is young in age, but he is a very energetic young man. So as soon as Will arrives in Baghdad, Sanborn starts explaining everything about this place to him, and he also tells him about their daily routine. Soon, they receive information about another bomb, so they start moving from here with Will. On the way, Eldridge also tries to scare Will, because Eldridge thinks that Will is inexperienced. But Will does not pay any attention to his words, and he tells Eldridge that he has already fought a war in Afghanistan, so war is not a new thing for him. And then they reach the place where they received information about the bomb. Here, another unit is already present. So now Will quickly reaches that unit, and then he finds out where the bomb is. Will starts putting on his protective gear, and then Sanborn comes to him and says that they should send the robot first, because this place is very dangerous. But Will says no, that he will handle everything alone by himself. Sanborn tries to make Will understand here, because he has recently seen one of his teammates die, so he does not want to take any kind of risk. But Will does not listen to him, and Sanborn realizes that this is a very over-enthusiastic man who loses his senses in excitement. So now Will starts moving forward, and just as he is about to reach the bomb, a taxi suddenly comes driving toward them. After seeing this taxi, everyone gets scared, and they think that maybe the taxi driver himself will trigger the blast. So Will points his gun at the taxi driver and tells him to move back, but that man does not react at all. Then Will moves even closer to him and threatens him that if he does not move back, he will shoot him. But the taxi driver still does not react. Even then, Will keeps threatening him, and slowly the driver moves his vehicle backward. At that moment, the other soldiers come and grab him. Now Will slowly moves forward and goes to search for the bomb. As soon as he removes the garbage around it, he finds the bomb. Then he pulls the bomb out using a wire and starts looking for its trigger. After some time, he finds the trigger, so he cuts it and reassures everyone that he has defused the bomb. Now everyone starts to relax. Just then, Will notices another wire, and he starts following that wire. After some time, when he pulls that wire out, he sees that many more bombs are attached to this wire. After seeing this, he becomes worried, because if all these bombs explode together, there could be a massive explosion here. So now he starts searching for the detonator to which all these bombs are connected, and he gets busy with his work. At that moment, we see a man nearby, and he realizes that this man is about to defuse the bomb. So he starts coming down from where he can detonate the bomb. But by the time he comes down, Will finds the trigger and defuses the bomb. After seeing this, that man runs away. Then we see the wire of the bomb, and near it, that man has dropped a battery, which means he was about to detonate the bomb within a few seconds. But at the exact right moment, Will defuses the bomb and saves the lives of thousands of people. Because of this, everyone is very happy with Will's work, but Sanborn is still angry, and he explains to Will that he should not lose his senses in excitement, and that anything can happen here, so he should stay alert. But these words have no effect on Will at all. Then we see Eldridge, whose mental condition keeps getting worse day by day, so he meets the local psychiatrist whose name is John Cambridge. When Cambridge is talking to him, he realizes that Eldridge is extremely frightened from the inside, and he has seen so many deaths that he feels his own death is close. That is why Cambridge starts explaining to him and says that he will have to remove all these thoughts from his mind. But Eldridge becomes even more afraid, and his treatment continues like this. Meanwhile, we see Will, who is heading outside, and at the same time a boy comes to him who sells DVDs. While talking casually, the boy ends up selling Will a DVD, and Will buys it. But then they get information about another bomb, and they start moving toward it. They go to a parking area where many cars are parked, and they find out that there is a bomb inside the trunk of one of the cars. Very soon, they also locate the bomb. Then nearby, we see another man, and it is he who planted this bomb. When he sees all of them, he fires a shot at that same car, and the car catches fire. Because of this, everyone becomes alert. Some people start putting out the fire, and some people shoot and kill the man who fired the shot. By then, they also manage to extinguish the fire. Now Will goes near that car, and as soon as he opens the trunk, he sees that there are many bombs inside. After seeing this, he understands that it is going to take a lot of time. That is why he starts taking off his suit, and after seeing this, everyone becomes worried and feels that Will has gone mad. Especially Sanborn, who once again starts warning Will and tells him that he should not do this. But Will says that no one knows who is going to die and when, and if I have to die today, then I will die peacefully. After saying this, he completely removes his suit and starts searching for the detonator of the bomb. But he remains in contact with Sanborn, and Will realizes that now he will have to search the entire car for the detonator, because there is no detonator in the trunk. That is why he moves forward. By that time, many people gather around the area, and after seeing this, Sanborn gets scared. So he tells Will that they need to leave this place, and now another team has arrived here to defuse it. But Will does not listen to him. Then Sanborn keeps telling him again and again to leave this place. That is why Will now removes his headphones and throws them away so that he cannot hear Sanborn's voice. After throwing away the headphones, he gets back to work again, and after seeing this, Sanborn becomes extremely angry, thinking how Will can do something like this. Then Will finally finds the detonator and defuses the bomb, and everyone becomes happy. But as soon as Will comes near Sanborn, Sanborn punches him and tells him never to do something like this again. But this also does not affect Will at all. Then their senior arrives there, and he is very impressed by Will. That is why he starts talking to him and asks how many bombs he has defused till now. Will says 873. After hearing this, their senior becomes even more impressed and praises Will. Then they return back to their camp. At that time, the same boy who sold Will the DVD comes to him, and he is playing football there. He tells Will that his name is Beckham and that he loves football very much. Then Will tells him that the DVD he sold him was corrupted, so he wants his money back. But Beckham says that he does not give refunds. Then Will says, "Fine, I will take one shot at the goal, and if you stop it, then I will give you extra dollars." After saying this, Will starts playing with Beckham, and Beckham manages to stop the goal. Because of this, Will starts liking Beckham, and a good bond forms between the two of them. Then we see Eldridge again, whose another session is going on with Cambridge. Now Cambridge starts explaining to Eldridge that he needs to come out of the confusion inside his mind. Hearing this, Eldridge gets angry and says, "What do you know about the fear of death? You just stay here at the camp, but we have to go out in the field, and the real danger of death is there. That is why you are completely unaware of my fear." After hearing this, Cambridge says that whenever the army needs me, I will also go into the field. And time passes like this. We then see these American soldiers in the desert, where they are doing explosion testing. After one blast, Will says that his glove has been left behind, and he goes to the place where the bombs are planted. Then Sanborn says to Eldridge that sometimes, by mistake, a bomb explodes earlier. What Sanborn means by this is that he wants Will to be killed here. After hearing this, Eldridge becomes scared. Then we find out that Sanborn was just joking. Now they start moving back again. But as soon as they go a little distance, They see a vehicle there with many people around it, holding guns in their hands. Then they go toward them, point their guns at them, and tell them to sit on their knees. Then their leader reveals his face, and they realize that these people belong to a private military company. They had come to Iraq to capture 2 most wanted criminals, on whose heads there is a reward of 0,000. But on the way, their vehicle's tire got punctured, so they had to stop here. After hearing this, they give them their tools, and those people start repairing their vehicles. Suddenly, some Iraqis attack them, chaos breaks out, and both of those criminals start running away. Then they shoot and kill them and hide inside a ditch. They realize that a sniper is attacking them. That is why the leader of the private military company also takes out his sniper rifle and starts aiming at them. But before he can fire a shot, they shoot at him, and right there the leader dies. Because of this, now Sanborn takes command here, and he starts aiming, and he sees that the sniper is inside a house, is hiding there, and there are many people with him. So now Sanborn starts firing bullets at them. But a moment comes when their ammunition runs out. So now Will tells Eldridge to look for bullets, and says that the leader will have ammunition. And indeed, he does have bullets, but now those bullets are covered in blood. That is why Will tells Eldridge to clean the blood off the bullets. But Eldridge is extremely frightened, so he is unable to clean the blood. Then Will helps him, and Sanborn once again starts taking aim and begins killing them one by one. Just then, Eldridge sees another man who is about to attack them from the other side. So he tells Will to shoot him, and Eldridge starts firing bullets at him. On the other side, Sanborn also kills that sniper. And here, for the first time, Will and Sanborn work together, and they start liking each other. Because of this, a good friendship begins to form between the two of them. After returning home, they start celebrating. Then, for the first time, Sanborn learns about Will's life, and Will tells him that he has a daughter and that he had gotten married some time ago. But after that, they got divorced. However, even after the divorce, his wife still lives with him. Now everyone realizes how serious Will is about his profession and that he truly loves bombs, because he keeps their parts under his bed. And when he goes to sleep at night, before sleeping, he always wears his suit once, the same suit with which he defuses bombs. Then the next day, they get information about another place, and this place is a warehouse, where there is also a bomb. After finding out, they start going there. Then Cambridge comes to them, and says that today he also wants to go into the field. After hearing this, everyone is very shocked, but still they take Cambridge along with them. Now everyone reaches the warehouse, but as soon as Will goes inside, he sees the dead body of a child, and he realizes that this is Beckham and that someone has killed him and then planted a bomb inside his body. After seeing this, Will becomes extremely sad because he liked Beckham very much. That is why he starts crying, and he tells everyone to go outside and says that they will blow up the entire building very soon. Now everyone goes outside and starts waiting for Will. But Will changes his decision and does not want to destroy the entire building. That is why he cuts open Beckham's stomach again and takes the bomb out from inside. Then he brings Beckham's body outside and places it in his vehicle so that they can perform his last rites. Now everyone is ready to leave from here. So Eldridge starts calling Cambridge as well. But as soon as Cambridge comes toward the vehicles, his foot steps on a bomb, and right there Cambridge dies. After seeing this, Eldridge becomes disturbed and feels that Cambridge died because of him, because he was the one who provoked him to go into the field. Because of this, Eldridge becomes even more troubled. On the other hand, Will is also extremely disturbed, because he wants to take revenge for Beckham's death at any cost. That is why he goes to the shop of the same man whose DVDs Beckham used to sell. So he starts asking him about Beckham, but that man says that he does not understand English. Then Will waits until evening. As soon as the man closes his shop and starts leaving, Will comes and sits inside his car, points a gun at him, and tells him to take him to Beckham's house. Now that man takes him near an unknown house and says that this is Beckham's house, and then he leaves Will there and runs away. But as soon as Will goes inside the house, he meets a teacher who tells him that this is not Beckham's house. Then the teacher's wife comes there, and when she sees the gun in Will's hand, she starts screaming and tells him to leave her house and run away. That is why Will also runs away from there. Now Will, running on foot, reaches the camp. There he meets Sanborn, who tells him that a very big explosion has happened nearby, so they need to go there immediately. So Will also leaves with them. When they reach the blast site, They see that screams are echoing everywhere, and the explosion is very massive. Now Will starts thinking and says that whoever carried out this explosion is nearby and is watching the spectacle of how many people he has killed today. That is why, if they want, they can catch him. But this does not influence the other two, and Sanborn and Eldridge refuse to do this. But Will does not listen, and he takes both of them along with him. They start searching all around, and soon the three of them get separated. Then Eldridge sees some people, and gunfire starts there. So now Will and Sanborn start following the gunfire, and they find a dead body there. Then they see that some people are taking Eldridge away. So now Will starts firing at them, and Will kills the people who were taking Eldridge away. But now one of Will's bullets hits Eldridge, but the bullet hits his leg. Because of this, Eldridge falls down. Then both of them go to Eldridge and tell him not to panic, because it is just a small wound and he will survive. Nothing will happen to him. But now Eldridge is extremely disturbed. So they bring him back to the camp. But now Eldridge will need surgery very soon. So now the army personnel are taking him away by helicopter. At that time, Will and Sanborn are with him. Then Eldridge starts abusing Will and says that because of you I am here today, and my leg is in this condition. He says that this happened because you always want to do something different, and you do not think about the other soldiers at all. And after saying this, he says that he hates this place, and finally he is getting a chance to leave from here. With this, the army personnel take Eldridge away. Then they find out that a civilian has many bombs strapped to his body, and right now he is roaming in the middle of the city. So now they reach there with their entire unit. Then Will prepares himself and starts moving toward that man. Slowly, he asks the man to take off his shirt, and as soon as Will sees the bombs, he understands that these bombs are extremely dangerous and that defusing them will not be easy. That is why he tells everyone to move back and slowly starts moving closer to the man. He asks the man to sit down, but that man does not understand English, so Will takes the help of his teammates and uses the walkie-talkie to translate things for the man. During this time, the man keeps pleading with Will to save his life because he has a family, a wife, and children, and he does not want to die. Now Will starts examining all the bombs, and he sees that there are many locks attached around the bomb. Will becomes most worried when he sees that there is also a timer attached, and the bomb will explode within 3 minutes. That is why he asks Sanborn to bring a cutter so that he can cut the locks. Sanborn quickly brings a cutter, but even with that, Will is unable to cut the locks. He understands that this situation is going to be extremely serious. That is why he makes one last attempt. He tells Sanborn to run away from there and tells everyone else to move 75 meters away. Sanborn keeps shouting for Will to come back, but Will is making his final attempt. Then he sees that only 30 seconds are left, and he understands that he will not be able to defuse this bomb. So he apologizes to that man and starts running away. At that moment, the bomb explodes, and the blast is extremely powerful. Will also gets caught in the explosion and gets injured. Then Sanborn pulls him out and takes him away in a vehicle. But after seeing all of this, Sanborn completely breaks down. He tells Will that every day we do not know whether we will survive or die, and we always run straight toward death. We prepare ourselves for death every single day, and this thing is eating me from the inside. I also want to build a family like you and spend time with them. But even after having a family, you work with such bravery. I wish I were as brave as you. I want to become like you. After hearing all these things, we understand that Sanborn is breaking from the inside. And with this, their tour finally ends. Will returns to his home and starts spending time with his family. Time passes like this. But slowly, Will starts realizing that what he loves the most is war itself, and he cannot stay away from bombs. That is why when he is at home, he talks only about bombs even with his wife. He knows the details of every single blast, and he keeps blaming himself, saying that if I had been there, I would have defused that bomb. Now everyone understands what is going on inside Will's mind. So now Will once again decides to join the army. That is why he joins Delta Force and sets out on his next tour, and his next tour is for 1 year. With this, we see Will once again in his suit, moving toward a bomb to defuse it. But Will is not afraid of it. Instead, there is a different kind of happiness on his face. And with this, the story ends right here. If you like this story, then like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.